Now, the World Junior A Challenge kicks off on Sunday. We talked about it. Rory brought it up earlier on in the show. 4 players and 1 coach from the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League are off to Ontario for the camp. And we thought it would be fun to put together our all-Team Canada West teams, but only with SJHL players. You guys had a lot of players to choose from, and we stuck with the same rules.
Yeah.
Only 5 2003 born players on each of your guys' teams. So we're going to run through their teams. We're going to clip it. We're going to put it on social media, and we're going to see who had the better team according to SJHL fans. So, Nugsy, do you want to kick us off? And we'll go through your team, and you can kind of give us the breakdown.
Sure. Yeah, so again, I think this team has a bit of everything. It has a lot of grit. I think the thing that I went back and forth on more than anything was the goaltending situation. And I like Cam Hrdlicka. He got the SJHL finals experience. He's got the Centennial Cup. And you know what? I think if this team went to Canada to the World Junior Challenge, they would face a lot of rubber. And Cam Hrdlicka's had to face a good amount of rubber this year in Estevan. So, I think, there was great options. Dawson Smith, Josh Cote, the list goes on and on. But those guys, I think their teams in front of them, these guys are... Cam Hrdlicka is the biggest reason why Estevan, I think, is where they are. So, I think again, big game experience with Cam Hrdlicka. Like a little bit of everything. Some guys that know each other. There Tremblay and Silvestri on a line, and a really underrated guy in the league, Jackson Allen, is a top 6 forward as an 04 on a very old, inexperienced Battleford's forward core. He's been done a little bit of everything. So it's a good team, and you have the ultimate shutdown D-man out there, Jared Sitch, with a guy he plays with a lot, and Vinny Palmerine on Notre Dame. And I'm not just being a homer by putting them up there. I think they're great. I think they're great together. You have the ultimate PP quarterback there in young Karsten Cater as well, and he's very familiar with playing with Noah Barlagi. So a little bit of familiarity there. So I think there's a good amount of grit. I think there's enough goals, and this team will block shots. We'll do whatever it takes to win. And so that's what I kind of went with, guys who I knew had big hearts.
And I do you obviously went in the direction of having one of your 03s in the net,
right,
and then 2 on the blue line, right? But it, in turn, actually made you omit one of the players that actually got invited to the World Junior A Challenge in Ethan Zilke. It was one of the players that actually got invited, and you omitted. So just an interesting omission. But I do think your back end and your goaltending situation benefits from it more by keeping only 2-0-3 up front in your forward unit.
So before we get to Rory's team, when you look at your team now, is there an omission that you maybe would want to switch out?
Two quick ones. Okay. The up front, I afterwards I was talking to somebody who I trust. I was like, "What do you think of this team?" And he said, "You forgot Jag Pangura on Estevan." And I said, "Yes, I forgot Jag Pangura. Good size and skater, so I really like him." And then on the back end, I've been flicking myself. Jordan Grill, the local boy in Battlefords, he's probably top 4, a top pairing D-man on this team. So those are my 2, gotta flick myself and be like, oh, how'd they not make it?
Was it Carl from Estevan that you were talking about?
I cannot comment.
Can't disclose?
Can't disclose. But Jag and Jordan Grill deserve to be on these teams.
Well, there you have it. There is Jamie's all SJHL Team Canada West team for the World Junior A Challenge. All right, Rory, you are up. Let's get Rory's team on the board, and you can break it down for us, Rory.
Yeah, so I went a completely different route. I wanted more punch, more scoring. So I actually have 4 out of my 5 03s up front on my forward unit. Holden Dole, Ethan Zilke, Jeremy Tremblay, who all got invited, along with Zach Summers. He's an 04, though. So I have all 4 that got invited on my team. And then you get some familiarity there. You have Zilke with Tim Kim, who also Jamie had. You have Zach Summers with Riley Ashton on the 2006 born forward. Jackson Allen of the North Stars also makes it with Carter McKay and Dylan Ruptash. I think our 4th line was actually identical, is it not? Is Ruptash on your 4th line? Or?
Ruptash is up on with Ash and the Melfort boys. I had Liam Bridger,
the
Newfoundlander from
So I have
line.
just a little more experience up front with Zilke and Wills, who weren't on Nugsy's team. But on what it does on the back end is that I can only pick 103, and I left off apparently the best shutdown D-man in the league, and Jared Sitch. So more did it on purpose because I knew Nugsy would get a kick out of it.
Further proving his anti-Notre Dame tendencies.
Well, Notre Dame already dislikes me, so I mean, what's one more? Right? I don't care.
You know what? I try to be professional, and and do things as as I actually believe, as opposed to getting at my coworkers. But
I
whatever,
have, I did do it as I believe. I mean, I have consistency.
I like all these kids. I'm not.
You look at Team Canada when they had Chris Kunitz, who was he the best player? They left off a bunch of players, but he played so well with Sidney Crosby, right?
Right.
So I went for more consistency as well. Easton Rask, Jordan Grill, both on the North Stars. Karsten Cater, Noah Barloggy, both on Humboldt. You got a lot of pairings up front, and that did not allow me to put an 0-3 as a goaltender. So I have Cody Jamin, who has a 923 save percentage, and backed up by Dazza Mitchell, 204 goaltenders. But I really like the balance, and I definitely like the punch up front. And then Silzer and Tanchuk, I don't think the size-wise as a third shutdown pairing, I think is pretty good. So that's my team. Yeah, I like it.
Well, I think when I was typing these up for our graphics people, I think I did the math, and it was you guys had 10 out of 12 of your forwards were the exact same, and there was a few changes, but your guys' blue lines were a little different. Obviously, two different goaltenders for each team. I mean, with both of your starting goaltenders, though, both of them faced a lot of rubber, so I think both are the case. I guess to follow up, Rory, who would be an omission from your team? That
Jake
maybe,
Pangura.
Yeah.
It was the guy, I was like, I want him on there so bad, but I didn't know who to take off. And so that's the one omission. And I also, I did not talk to Carl about it, but yeah, Jake Pangura is the guy. Is the omission.
Well, the thing is, when you do something like this, there's always going to be omissions.
The 03s were the hardest to only pick 5, right? Where do you want your oldest players to be structured on your team?
And I should say, like, I have a huge opinion of Ethan Zilke. Like,
you don't have to cover your tracks.
I honestly would take him on like any team. I just thought I wanted to kind of balance my 03s through the roster.
Yes.
I think my roster needed a bit more offense with Tremblay over Zilke. It was between those two, and I think Tremblay's like a little bit more offensive than Ethan Zilke. And Holden Dole, like he
could have had them all.
Had to be there. No, like I could have. We were in charge of our own team.
That's right. You could have.
Just sort of balancing it all out again. Like I love Ethan Zilke. I think he's a winner. Not a shot at him. Just it was a fun exercise.
Well, when you have a goalie that's an 03, you got to take one out somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah.
100%. So we're definitely gonna clip this, and we're gonna put it on social media, and we'll see.
I have not fared well in these polls. I think it has to do because Nugsy has more followers than me. I don't think it has anything to do with the actual with who's a better team, but I'm going to put that out there. Every time I go up against him on social media, I do not win the poll.
Fair. Well, we'll revisit it.
You are what the standings say.
Yeah.
Bill Parcells.
Sure.
Well, we'll revisit this next week, and we'll see what the fans think of your guys'
voter bias out there.
roster. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?